Hi, this is Margaret Sarles. I'm a retired advisor out of Arkansas, and I'm here to talk to you today about some advanced composition techniques. As you may or may not be aware, composition is the arrangement of elements in a photo used to emphasize certain subjects over others and give us a great center of visual interest. It is important for the photographer to give the reader a center of visual interest, to pinpoint that and give me something to direct my eye toward. Composition is so important in photography because it makes you have stronger images, powerful images, and it is a skill that you will be using for the rest of your life because we're always going to have a camera. Now, whether you are using a DSLR or you're using your cell phone camera, remember to always think in terms of these composition techniques. The first one is leading lines. And here the photographer positioned themselves right in front of the girl with her arms reaching out. Her arms act as leading lines right on the line leading us to her. She is the center of visual interest. So always think about your position as a photographer, that can you use leading lines? And remember that leading lines can also be leading looks. People looking at each other creates an invisible line. Framing. Framing means using elements that naturally appear in the photo to isolate your center of visual interest. In this photo, the photographer got in the car and used the window of the car as a frame and waited for the center of visual interest to write the 0 and then framed her inside of that. So here we have a double frame going on, and that frame just leads us directly to that center of visual interest. Repetition. When you see a pattern that is happening, you want to think about how can I shoot that image and capture that repetition. Here we have the repetition of the 3 football players in red and framed by the 2 refs on the end. And then we have a break in that repetition as the young men are carrying out a jersey that is white. Sometimes a break in that repetition creates a very, very stunning image. And remember, you don't have to have a face to have a storytelling photo. Fill the frame. Fill the frame means get close. I am kind of notorious for saying use your zoom legs. That means if you don't have a camera with a zoom, you do have legs. So zoom up close. And fill the frame is important because you are capturing the detail of an element. And what I love here is that the photographer zoomed up and gave us that great detail of her eyelashes. If the photographer was farther away, we would not see those eyelashes like they are. Just really cool. Fill the frame. It is a type of photo you should be shooting when you go to any photo shoot. Lighting. You always have to remember, how can light be an element of composition for you? On the photo on the right, the photographer realized that they could position himself or herself at an angle in front of the stadium football lights so that the drum major is framed by the stadium lights. And this gives us what we call a beautiful rim light around the drum major. The other example is from stage lighting. And remember, when you go to shoot a play, that the director or a professional has set that stage lighting to make those characters look great on stage. So the lighting is set for you. All you have to do is get close, take advantage of that great lighting, and shoot the moment. Selective focus. Selective focus is a technique you can use on your DSLR with aperture control or on your cell phone in portrait mode. I love that the photographer here recognized he had a very, very busy background, distracting background, because all those parents cheering on would have distracted from the moment of this senior as he makes his way across the stage. The last one is simplicity. Don't be afraid to look for simple moments. And simplicity is pertinent here because we have a moment between a coach and a player, and there is nothing in the background to distract us from the moment that they are having here. So think about simple moments. What's in the background that will distract from the storytelling moment that I am about to tell? Thank you.